Hey guys, I'm Krish Arvapally. I'm here with my brother Sanketh Arvapally. I have a chronic kidney disease. I'm basically on the final stage. I guess you could call it stage 5. And I'm currently in the process of a kidney transplant with my brother in the next day. So, you want to say something?
Yeah, definitely. Sanketh, older brother, father of two, living in Seattle. Yeah, next this week is going to be hard. Going to be an interesting journey, but uh, uh, the adventure is getting him back in his life.
I realized that Sanketh is so social from this memory of mine where when we were moving from Singapore to New Jersey, he literally took over, I would say, half of the airport. Like at the gate or like near the check-in, it was literally 150 people, all of his friends, his close friends, and some of them in tears. As far as I remember, that was just sad to see Sanket go out of Singapore and out of their lives. It was an eye-opening thing for me. What about yours? What's your favorite memory?
Yeah, my favorite memory, I think it's we were in Edison, New Jersey, and you suddenly turned out to be an entrepreneur, right?
Suddenly.
Yeah. So that memory I remember in your room, you turned out to be a genius out of your room, and that is your start of your entrepreneurship. And I'm still in college and I'm working in the weekend. Making money just to survive. I work 16 hours a day.
Hey, you actually were an entrepreneur too. If you
No,
remember, you started
I
restaurants and businesses.
That's just hardship. That's it.
That's not hardship. That's a business.
So entrepreneur is what you showed, right? So I can never forget. Remember we had Dango Pay?
Yeah, Dango Pay.
We sold it for
We
20K.
Yeah, 20K on
That was
eBay.
a big achievement. Yeah, on eBay. That was most stunning. And that's when I realized my brother is a genius. He's a star. He's a star. He's an entrepreneur. That is my memory that I always remember.
So I guess in the lines of being an entrepreneur, we raised a little bit of capital for my first startup, and I was able to cash out a little bit of money. And I was telling my dad, like, what do I do with it? And he, obviously, as any Indian parent, he basically told me to invest in a house, like buy a house. So I did that. I bought a small town home literally like walking distance to my parents' home. This was in 2008 or something like that, 2008. So once I bought the house, the natural thing was to get life insurance. As with any homeowner, it's like a thing to do. So when I went to life insurance, they told me to take a blood test and a urine test. And the guy came to my home and I did a urine test, and that's how the guy basically came back with the results. And he was like, you might want to check with your doctor. There's something wrong with your urine. And he actually took another test thinking that it was his problem. And I did it again, and then there was obviously, for those of you that are aware of the kidney issue, there's a lot of loss of protein in your urine that's very noticeable, especially when you're doing a urine test. So anyway, so that's how I got referred to my primary doctor, and my primary doctor referred me to a nephrologist. So what I had was a chronic kidney disease. After a couple of tests that I did and sonograms and things like that, they determined that it was FSGS. Focal segmental glomeruli syndrome. So it's supposedly very rare, and it's incurable. At least in today's modern medicine, there's nothing that exists when it comes to solving it. So what did I do after I found out that I had FSGS? Actually, for the first 2 years, I would say 1 to 2 years, I was in a state of denial. Like, I actually did not believe that I even had it, because I did not feel anything. I had literally no symptoms. I was feeling very energetic, athletic. I was 24, 25. I literally had a whole, a big life ahead of me. There's no way this was something that actually happened to me. So I actually didn't believe it at all. So I actually didn't do anything for the first year and a half. I was going through some tests, blood work here and there. My parents, my family were kind of like, no, you gotta look at it. You gotta see. You gotta go down that path and see what's happening.
I was
Ultimately,
questioning the blood
yeah, yeah,
results. Like, are you sure they were looking at your blood?
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Exactly. I thought there was a mistake at the lab too. Like, but obviously, it was a lot of tests. I guess that was indicating. Um, but there was a point that kind of turned me off. Was my doctor at that time, my nephrologist, gave me two options. It was like the Matrix's red pill and blue pill kind of story. Like one side was you can take prednisone, which was kind of the default prescription, like a steroid that helps or cure, or not cure, but like helps decrease the amount of effort that you're putting like stressing the kidney, so it'll ultimately help with the prolonging of the kidney life. But there's an immense amount of side effects, and I'm like, prednisone is a little bit of a scary word, and that would have been a path that I could have taken, or the other path was kind of just being healthy and diet and anything that I'm consuming, any physical activity that I'm going to be doing, maintaining my body was the other. That was not really recommended by my doctor. They basically said, no, everyone had a consensus that you have to take prednisone because like in a year you need to have transplant, or like 2 years you need to have a kidney transplant, because at that time my GFR was 40, and for any FSGS patient or person, it's a very fast degradation of the kidney. It attacks the kidney very fast. So they were kind of really pushing me towards that direction. But I really deep down, I kind of did not believe them, I guess, in one way. I mean, obviously the blood work and the urine work said one thing, approved certain things. But then I was like, no, I think I should try to see if I can, help myself naturally. So what helped me sustain so long with this disease? And yeah, I would say that I actually did a lot of things. So let's say diet was, I would say, number one. Low potassium, low salt, low protein, no alcohol. I only had because of the low potassium and low protein, I only had like maybe 12, 13 ingredients that I was really focused, like cauliflower, bell peppers, a little bit of mushrooms here and there. Things like that. Obviously no potatoes, no tomatoes. There was a lot of no's. No potatoes, no tomatoes, things like that were very, very harmful to the kidney, especially when you're stage 5. I was doing a lot of broths. I love soups, so like chicken broths, they're really good for you. My wife would make chicken curries, but I would eat the broth portion of it because that helps with protein. I needed a little bit of protein, not too much, so that was kind of perfect. And then it is when you do want to eat protein, obviously focus on like lean cuts of chicken, salmon, things like that. Apart from diet, I was also doing I was doing the juice diet as well. That was really important. Every morning, I'd have a big glass of green apple, celery, blueberries, and cilantro, parsley. That actually helps. It's like a diuretic, so it helps kind of process everything from the body. And I highly recommend that. After taking that juice, I felt like earlier I used to have a lot of high blood pressure. I felt like that was completely eliminated. when I started getting into the juice diet, the kidney cleanse diet. So I highly recommend that. I also go for a jog walk / run every morning, at least 2 miles a day. I started extending that to 3 miles a day as I'm coming closer to the transplant. If I'm tired on that day for whatever reason, I just walk. It's beautiful outside, I guess, in LA any time of the year. So it was awesome. It's awesome to just walk in general. If you have a treadmill, that's fine too. But that's what I did. I just walked in the morning quite a bit. And also, if it's terrible weather outside, I used to get into yoga. I did at least an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour of yoga, and just walked around the house, for example. That really helps. So like generally in weekends, I'm doing yoga, and then weekdays, I'm going out for runs. So that helps. Yoga and meditation, obviously, that combination helps a lot. So that I would say that I think these are the 3 buckets of things that I was doing. Yeah,
every day,
consistently. And yeah, I mean, I do have some cheat days here and there when I'm on vacation with family, with my daughter. Maybe have an ice cream here and there, but like it's for the most part, it's pretty strict in terms of what I'm consuming, how I'm maintaining my health and things like that. I'm very, very, very nervous. It's a little bit of a unique situation, I think, because I've literally never had any surgery before. I'm actually fortunate that I never really got into the dialysis situation, because I was really fortunate to have my brothers as my kidney donors in my case. So I was able to schedule the transplant at a convenient time, really, for all of us. How I'm preparing and how I'm feeling, to be honest, I cannot even describe it in my words. I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm scared. It's like I don't even know how to feel, really. I am optimistic that optimistic that that this is a good thing for me, and that after the transplant, it's gonna be great.
decision was hard, no doubt about it. My wife was in a dilemma. I always put it this way: she couldn't say no, she couldn't say yes, dangling in between, because she was in a state of shock at that point. For me, my decision, I was certain. I was definitely certain. There was no question about it. But I was clueless what the experience is going to be. And we both started to dig around, research, talk to people. We needed to educate ourselves. We lacked education, and Kalyani found her colleagues, and through her network, she was able to find people who went through this. We spoke to them. I spoke to them. They comforted me in the conversations. That helped. Um, and then you introduced me to Mr. Anil.
Yeah, sorry.
I felt Anil was a game changer for me.
Mm.
Because what he's done, the Gift of Life Foundation he found, was totally inspired. I definitely give a lot of credit to Anil. He spent a lot of time on the phone with me. He was in Bangalore. And we spoke a lot about this whole journey. And the way he spoke to me was, it's not a big deal. He made it sound super easy, right? That's what the comfort, the conversation was so comfortable that it was like, this is the best thing anybody can do. And this is an opportunity in life for anybody to be given an opportunity. And he educated me in this process, in his journey, in the challenges that he went through, and the challenges that his wife was going through was very much resonating with the kind of thought process my wife was going through. So we connected very well, and he explained that was one factor in preparing me mentally, right? And my decision was certain, and we educated their family, and just kept moving forward. And then test started. Worry was always there, but fear is there. I mean, come on, we're talking about
Yeah.
taking a organ out of your body. But
Yeah.
for me, what was more important was, this is going to save my brother, and so be it. If this is going to save my brother, heck yeah, let's go do it. That's all I cared. Is it going to hurt me? I'll deal with it. It's going to change my life? I'll deal with it. That is the mental prep I had to do. Next came the physical part. Yeah, my doctors did tell me that the fitter you are, the faster it's recovery. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And I started doing, and to my bad luck, I injured my ankle in an army trip. And that was a setback where I lost 4 weeks of my physical activity. Now I'm like, I'm fit, but I'm not where I should be. But I'm confident that my recovery will be fine, because at the end of the day, what's important is here optimism and forward looking. And I've tuned my brain in that angle, and
You're making a
ready.
direct impact in someone's life. So
I'm ready.
that's,
I'm like,
that.
nothing's going to change my mind. Nobody's going to change my mind. You need a kidney, I'm there for you, and let's go. Let's change your life, because I'm sick and tired of the shit that you're going through.
Actually, I'm not too concerned about the surgery itself. I mean, I think I'll be knocked out for the most part with general anesthesia. It's the after that I'm concerned about. All the medicine. It seems I'll be on a very high dosage of the prednisone, which I was initially talking about. I think it's going to be in the 500 milligrams or maybe more range for the first couple of days, and it has very, very severe side effects. So don't know how I'm going to deal with that, or my body, or both mentally, physically. It's, I guess, the unknown that I'm concerned about. And then to be honest, what I'm looking forward to is really coming back from the hospital, and actually resuming my daily walks that I do, my daily regimen that I have and been following for the last couple of years, because that's what helped me stay really healthy and have a positive outlook in my life and things like that. So I'm just looking forward to getting back to how I used to be. So, and I'm really motivated to just get to that level. So it seems that in 5 days, or 3 to 5 days, I'll be back home, and I should be able to start walking 30 minutes a day, which I thought I was surprised that the doctors were okay with that, or actually recommended to do that. And I think that's exactly what I envisioned, is when I come back home, I want to be able to go out for walks, and I'm really looking forward for this. I mean, it's, to be honest, for the past 14, 15 years, however long it's been, this kidney thing has always been in my mind. I felt like it held me back a little bit, in terms of what I could do, what I can achieve. There's always something bothering you in the back of your head constantly.
Of course, yeah.
I just won't have that anymore.
My concerns, I want to ensure I get back to my family as soon as possible. My only concern is I don't have any side impacts and infections in this process.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. Other than that, there is ample evidence that people survive with it. There's scientific evidence around it. So I will go with that notion. And talking to people who have gone through this, they're leading a normal life.
Yeah, normal full life. Yeah.
Yeah, and so in that sense, it's in my hands.
And what are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to see you unleash. That's the thing.
It's like,
Right now, I want you to get back to your family, get back to your career, and I have a few things I want to achieve in my career. So this has held us back, and let's move forward,
Yeah.
progress in life, and do things. And I think I want to also do an effort to educate people about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah. How did my relationship with my brother evolve over time? To be honest, my brother was quite busy. I mean, he had a lot of aspirations and a lot of things to do, and you know, he was at that age where, you know, he had a lot of friends, and you know, wanted to achieve a lot of things, and you know, he was actually working quite a bit too. Like, he actually was really busy. So I kind of, you know, I kind of spend more time with my younger brother, actually. So my history with him in the early 8 years of my life was not too much interaction, to be honest. I would say more of my interaction was after that. It was post when we moved from Singapore to New Jersey, and then New Jersey to Seattle when he moved out. We started becoming more closer when he got married. So when he got married, that's when I guess I started visiting him more, and like, you know, his wife was treating me very nicely, Kalyani, and cooking and things like that. So that's when I got to see Sanketh's like kind of like actual side, because I feel like when you're brothers, like, you don't really, like, yeah, you get to know more about them later in the life. At least that's what happened to me in mine.
You know, I'm helping change a life here. We also want to do something for other people, and try and motivate as many people around this if possible. That's one piece of it. That's the community piece of it. And personally, socially, and career-wise, definitely, we think we are eager, we are hungry to do more, and we're not going to stop.
To be honest, like, what my brother is doing by donating his kidney is, in my opinion, the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate gift of life. Like, there's nothing in the world that can come close to a challenge. Like, everything else is easy now. Like, you know, and with that, like, you will be able to unleash. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, like you already did the hardest thing that you could ever do in your life.
At this moment, about to.
About to. You will be doing it, yes. So like that's going to be, I mean, from my brother's perspective, like, I think he's going to see the world as a different place almost, because like you are like the bigger person. Like, you've actually done something that very, 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 very few people do.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when you unleash yourself out there in the world, you can already say that you're better than that. You know what I mean? Like, in your mind, you can always be like, oh, you know what? Like, I've been there, done that. Any hardship, any challenge, any milestone, like, it's like easy. So like, I'm actually like thinking of like actually experiencing life, and, you know, doing more helping others, you know, those kind of things more than what I would have done before. I mean, to be honest, like, it just, when you feel like you have a second opportunity at life, like, you just want to like travel, and like, you want to experience the world, and you just want to like be with family, like spend time with my daughter. I want to actually, you know, plan for the next one. So like, I really want to spend more time there, because like, you know, obviously, like, you know, I feel like I'm unleashed in my own way too. I do have some ideas of starting something. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I do want to start something, and I'm looking forward to doing that. But for the most part, I want to experience life. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. All right, it's day 0. basically transplant day. I'm heading to the hospital right now. There's Maddie, there's Akshay. Yeah, so wish me luck.
Yeah, I'm here. This is the biggest day of our life for our family. Donating my organ to my dear brother Krish. I'm just waiting for them to call me to check in. In just a few hours, I will have an organ out of me. It's pretty daunting to say that. Yeah, I will see how it goes. Hopefully, I come out victorious from the other side.
I would say stay strong. I know you've been staying really strong. Be positive, and we'll wait for you. All the best.
I'm feeling a little bit tensed, anxious, and I'm also feeling confident that my both sons will be coming out of this very successfully, and I'm really grateful to Sanketh's and Kalyani's understanding of the situation and donating the kidney to his younger brother, whom he loves so much, which I have seen. His love to family and his brothers is immense, which I can say as a father. But I wish him all the very best. I know we are here behind him to take care of everything that is needed, and I'll give my life for my family and for my kids. Sanketh, all the best, beta.
Thank you, Dad.
Hi, how are you, Cheta?
I'm good.
How are you, Madhuri?
I'm ready. Okay.
Ready to go?
I don't know. I don't feel anything. I feel like it's like a blank screensaver in my head.
Cheta, how are you
Very
feeling? How are
nervous,
you
very-
doing?
Nervous? Nervous? Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
All will be best. All the very best to you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All the best to both of you. All the very best. Sanketh,
thanks.
all the best.
Okay, good luck. Okay, stay strong. Let's do this.
It's like we've been working towards this day for so long, anticipating. Now that it's already here, it's like a mixed feelings time.
I have a little bit of anxiousness and also the optimism. Anxiousness is for the unknown, but optimism is for the coming, what we are going to get out of this. And I'm really thankful to Kalyani and Sanketh for a magnanimous act of taking care of his brothers and the family. I think I'm really thankful to God providing me such good gem-like kids. And I love my son ever. Chait is in my blood. Chait, I'll do everything for you, Nana. You'll be all right. You'll come out very successfully. I'm 1000% confident about it.
How do you feel?
Good.
Any pain when you're walking?
Just soreness.
Wow. So how are you feeling?
A lot of discomfort, but sustaining. I'm happy to see I'm up and walking. That's what I wanted today.
And today is day 1 after the surgery, right?
Yeah,
And you're already
I
like,
walked yesterday.
oh wow,
Yeah,
awesome.
but it's so much discomfort. I need to get the gas out of my body.
And you only took Tylenol, right?
Yeah, primarily Tylenol.
And how is the pain level? Like, are you able to control it?
Yeah, manageable.
Oh, nice.
Manageable.
Today is the last day. How do you feel? You're
Good.
discharging.
Today's July 31st, so about 4 days post transplant, and they've just checked everything, and everything looks good except for my blood pressure. But I think it's fine. It's just some food stuff that I gotta watch out for. But I'm ready to go home. I'm wearing my regular clothes now, so
How are your other numbers? Like,
the other
good?
numbers are great. My blood sugar is like 90, it's like amazing. My creatinine is 1.26, basically an average person, normal person. I have no cholesterol issues. Yeah, I think everything else is great. I'm on a lot of medication, I think 30 pills a day or something like that. But hopefully it's only for a month, and then it'll be cut short later.
Can you show your battle scar?
Yeah, it's right here. You can zoom in a little, maybe.
Ooh.
It's just an
Let's see.
incision right here.
Wow, that's a beautiful incision.
Mhm. It's a good doctor.
Good doctor. All right. You're coming back again when to see the
Just a
doctor?
couple days, just for checkups, but that's common, normal.
Yeah, looking good.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Take care.
Surgery is done. Kidney is out. I'm officially one kidney man. I feel a sense of pride. I feel a sense of accomplishment. What I started out, I've completed. I'm more happy to see that it's not just what I've accomplished. It's also that the recipient, my brother, he's recovering well. I mean, I'm stunned and ecstatic to see that his numbers are way better than like a decade ago when we discovered this problem. And that has given my family an immense happiness. For me as a donor, I didn't have any medication other than Tylenol was my best friend for the first few days. They did give me oxycodone, and I intentionally was trying to avoid it. Ready to go back home, and yeah,
It's about 2.5 weeks, right? Yeah.
no, 3 weeks
3
tomorrow.
weeks? Tomorrow,
Yeah, tomorrow
okay.
is 3 weeks, so I'm ready to go back home. I'm just not agile enough. I need more time, but I can do stuff on my own, and just can't lift anything yet, anything heavy. But I'm able to do everything, stuff my own. Mentally, I'm fine. Physically, I'm getting there.
You're walking every day.
Yeah, walking every day. Yeah.
The hospital post transplant, I had a similar thing. They asked me to. We were done around 3-4 p.m. and around 8 p.m. they asked me to walk. So I did that. However, I was very nauseous too. I was very dizzy with all the anesthesia. So I didn't walk too much. I think I walked like literally 10 steps, which was good enough. I think they asked you to do that to kind of have the blood flow from your heart, pumping through the rest of the body, especially the new kidney. And that's like the most important thing. And also through my right leg. So I did that, but after I did that, I went back to sleep. I was really exhausted, but it was good. It worked out fine. I think they just wanted me to walk for some steps. The next day I started. Next day is really when I was like in my full consciousness, I would say, where I did start with 500 milligram steroids. So I was on a lot of steroids. And the second day I was on 250, and then it gradually goes down. The third day 125, fourth day 65, and then 20, and then 15. Now I'm on 10 every day, and then it eventually goes down to 5 at some point. But I'm always on steroids. I'm on tons of anti-rejection medication, anti-infection medications. I think I'm on like 30 to 40 pills a day at this point.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's so much better to recover at home. It's just so much more calmer, more peaceful. You're with your family. I think that was really important to me as part of the recovery process. So I think my blood pressure normalized. Everything normalized when I got back home. It was really high at the hospital. I was just stressed. I was just tensed. I just did not want to be there. I had the catheter in me. I had all these wires and everything. So yeah, all the medicine just really messes with your brain. So being with family, having fun, playing games, is so important for the recovery process, in my opinion. So I'm glad that everybody's here, and we're all spending 3 or 4 weeks at my hometown in LA, and we're going through that recovery process together with my brother here. So other than that, I'm doing really well now. As you can see, I'm out and about. Yeah, and I'm hoping in a few weeks I'll be able to even, I think, jog. But let's see if that's gonna happen.
What's next? Yeah, I'm ready to get my family back to my home. We've been here. Krish and Madhuri were very kind enough to get this beautiful place, massive place for my family. And yeah, we're ready to check out and go back to our home, get back on track. I have a few more days before I go to work, and yeah, get back into my career. My son is starting school next month. He's going to be in kindergarten, first time. That's a big milestone for us. Yeah, and my goal is I want to hit a 5K run in 6 months. And,
Wow.
Yeah, and that's first milestone. And the reason why I put that milestone is when I got my ACL surgery, I did a 5K in 8 months.
Wow.
And I want to keep up to that. Obviously, that was like a few years ago. I've gotten older, so
Not that old.
it's a very aggressive target, but
No, it's good. It's good.
even if it is 3K, I'm fine. But at least I have a target. I want to. That's the only thing. So if you really sum it up, what next is, I need to get back, physically, because right now my future, it's important that I be healthy.
Yeah.
And
Eat
for
healthy
me,
and,
my family has very clearly realized that it doesn't matter how much money you make. If your health is, good, then you are the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
And we know it, and we're going to religiously follow that.
So for I would say for me, I'd say it's similar, to be honest. I think focusing on health, obviously, I mean, I would say for the first year, I have to be super, super strict in terms of what goes into my body, what I eat, how much I exercise. I have to be very careful traveling with all the anti-immunosuppressants. I can't be going to public places too much. So I'm going to try to limit that as best as I can. But other than that, yeah, I mean, looking forward to spending more time with my daughter. It's like, even though she's next to me, I can't really spend too much time with her. Career-wise, I want to take it easy as well. Take the next year, kind of reflect on what I've been doing, what I want to do. Take it slowly. The 5K plan sounds interesting. I have to see how I'm doing in the next couple of months and then assess that. Maybe for me, a year, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's logical.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, it might change depending on how I'm doing.
So now you can eat food that you haven't eaten.
Yeah,
before.
so my food, it's so different.
What is one item you can think of you couldn't eat now?
I mean, it's like all the protein. Like, I literally was vegetarian for the longest time. So I can eat like fish, chicken, it's like in every meal. It's good. It's really good. And a lot of the Indian, like lentils, like pappu and everything. It's simple stuff and it's perfect. So I'm happy. It's salt. Like, I can actually eat salt now. I actually need to eat salt now to normalize my blood pressure.
Funny.
It's funny. So it's weird. Like, it's weird feeling to be able to be able to eat what I want now. So I'm really great. I'm really happy about that. I actually look forward to my meals. so it's good. Yeah.
All right. So for those of you out there, donorship is awesome. Do not fear. Before surgery, it's all about mental. It's all about being strong. And those of you are thinking of donating, you got to get your mind straight first, and that will help your family stabilize, because there's a lot of unknowns, and it's natural for everyone to think about it. So do not fear. If you get a chance to save a life, don't double think it. Just do it. That's all I can say, because that's the greatest gift of life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kalyani. I'm Sanketh's wife. Sanketh's the donor. When I first heard the news about the kidney transplant to Krish, it was in 2009, and I got married to Sanketh in 2008, and I moved to Seattle with him. 2009, the parents, my in-laws, who came over to my place, Seattle, and explained about the situation that Krish, the brother of Sanketh, might need a kidney at some point of time. His kidney function is deteriorated to around, I think, 40% at that point of time. The next thing I saw Sanketh was in tears. It was emotional. And then next thing Sanketh told me was he made up his mind that he will be registering himself for the kidney donation to his loving brother, and he tells me that I need your support. Several years passed by. We traveled around the world. We had a child, and throughout the journey, we just had one. I had one goal: stay healthy all the time. And in the meanwhile, Krish has been really, really impressively maintaining his good health, trying to prolong as much as possible on the kidney surgery, and also he could live a better life, how much ever he could extend. And just when we were able to take a deep breath, 4 months passed by into the new baby, 4 to 6 months, we get a call from UCLA. The coordinator in UCLA talks to Sanketh and says, "Are you ready for the kidney surgery?" I was surprised. I mean, we knew that this day would come, but we didn't expect that this would come so fast. And we thought we have at least 2 to 3 years of time. So then we thought, where do we begin? Let's start with all the things that we can control and think of things that we can control. The things that we can control were do a lot of research, get more awareness. What is a kidney transplant? How can we do it? How can we stay healthy so we can support this whole process? How can we make sure the child care support for my children while I'm supporting my husband, and how can I support my husband? All these are controllable. It's manageable with a little bit of effort and planning. Yes, we can do it. But in the bigger picture, the problems that Krish is going through, can we control that? It's not. So when I look at that bigger picture, it tells me that let's just focus on things that we can control and see how I can support. So when I see my husband ready to do such a noble act, the little that I can do is to support him and the family. First time when I heard from recipient's doctor, surgeon, calling us and say the numbers are looking great, the kidney is functioning, the kidney's numbers have instantly elevated to amazing levels, satisfaction. And when I see Krish savoring those foods that he could not even eat in the last 10 years, like last decade, satisfaction. And when I see that little kid, Avishi, able to hug his dad, Krish, and able to spend time with him, like with no problems and get through this issue, satisfaction. And Madhuri, his wife, a smile on her face. And such a relief, like it's a satisfaction and relief, like with all the exploration that we all did, with all the research that we have done. Now, when I get to know from the doctors that it went well, it's a success. It's an extreme amount of happiness and success. I mean, yes, there are challenges. They are recovering well, the donor and the recipient. It's a path. It's a journey of recovery. It takes time. I mean, and also the recipient's journey is a bit longer than the donor, but it's just a matter of time.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm a recipient, Krish's wife. My journey up until now, where does it start? I would say my journey first about, knowing about the whole kidney thing starts when I first met him, actually. When we started dating, we went on a couple of dates, and then he kind of mentioned, he's like, hey, I have this kidney thing, and he's a great guy. He's a great catch. So I was like, oh, that's just like a footnote, or it was a side note for me. Krish is very, very optimistic person. He, even in give him the worst situation, he would always try to find a solution. And he was trying to find solutions. He was trying to be very optimistic. He was still like, I don't have any symptoms. I don't think I need this. I can go like this for 5 years. But being his partner, being his spouse, it's a little hard. You're in a tricky situation because at the back of your mind, you're always scared that one day you might have to run to emergency room and it's really late, and it's just going there's always going to be like these shit scenarios that go through your head. But you can't tell them. You want to be supportive of them. You want to be optimistic for them. Believe it or not, he had 7 donors, both his friends and family combined. That's the kind of person Krish is. But it's just, we never even had to ask Sanketh or Kalyani. We never even had this call where we were like, hey Sanketh, can you donate your kidney? Can you be on the top of the list? You're the brother. We never had to say that to him. He did it. He just, he came forward. Kalyani was okay. Sanketh was okay without us even having to ask that question. I mean, I know we were placed in a bad situation with this whole kidney disease, but I think we had the best outcome that can possibly happen. I think we are the most blessed people given the situation as well, because we have so much family that came to help us. Now there's a huge relief. What his brother did was not just for his little brother. He saved a lot of lives. He basically gave me a husband with whom I can have fulfilling life, and he gave my daughter a father. And knowing Krish, I know we'll have so many more experiences, and nothing is going to hold him back anymore. Nothing is going to hold us back anymore.
Yeah, it is very important that we need to understand all avenues and options, but also at the same time we have to question every aspect of the information that we are getting it, so that you are well informed about it, or eventually when there is a time for you to take the action, you are fully filled with the information that is needed to take an appropriate action at the point in time. So that is we have gone through, and by discussing this with my friends and network has helped me to contact a big nephrologist in US, that is Dr. Ram, and we came to understand that he is actually my friend's own brother who lives here in US. We had a call with him, and he was ready to help us in all the aspects of understanding the disease and what are the ways by which we can prolong the functions of the kidney. So from that point onwards, Dr. Ram was on our side. He was helping us with the test results every 3 months. Then he also advised that at one point in time where we have to take action to see in case if the kidney disease prolongates and we need to take action for the surgery. And by looking at the data at that time, we found that if you are registered anywhere in US, it is going to take 10 to 15 years to be in line with getting the kidney. And that registry can happen only when your kidney function goes to certain level. It is not that at that point in time my son could not be registered himself as a kidney person who needs the kidney transplant. And we saw that his kidney function was gradually coming down, and they can only attempt to do the transplant when the kidney function goes into single digits of the GFR, which is around 10 or something like that. So when his GFRs were around 15 to 18, then they advised us we need to find potential donors who will be there. So we went through friends and family, including myself as a potential donor. Fortunately, from our own family, we found about 4 to 5 potential donors. So we went through that, and we identified one of the potential donor. As I was not eligible during the test that has revealed, my eldest son was the potential donor. We had a lot of discussions at a family level, and I'm really grateful and thankful for the courage with which my first son Sanketh has come forward, and I'm really sincerely thankful to Kalyani also because they both came forward to make sure that our family is intact and Krishna gets the transplant as we needed it. So right now we are in the process of almost coming close to the 4th week of post surgery. Right now we just completed 3 weeks, and by next Tuesday it will be the 4 weeks. The recovery is coming up well, and in short, what I wanted to say is whoever is going through similar things that I have gone through in your family or near and dear, my suggestion is try to get all the information, try to talk to your network and friends. Everybody has got a piece of good information to convey to you, or even the doctors also convey the good information. But at the same time, you need to do your research to find out what is the right path that you need to take. I think thankfully the science has advanced so much that there is no need to fear in terms of having the transplant as a donor or as a recipient, because it is very much possible that the success rate is close to 100 nowadays. So with that in mind, I think having information is important, having awareness is important, and nothing to really fear for anything. You can take care of your near and dear, and I wish all the best. And these are my simple experiences that I thought I would like to share with everybody.
I wanted to tell you about that kidney, but not now. Incompleted. Everything is success, but not incompleted. After 4 months, 5 months, if they tell anything about I'm happy, mommy, everything is okay, then I can tell you everything about that. Now I can tell you I'm very exciting or not. Okay.
Hey guys, my name is Akshay. I am the youngest brother of the two people of the hour, I guess you would say. So yeah, how I would summarize this whole journey. There's a lot of ways I can summarize it, but I think my favorite word of all of them that stood out from the beginning to now even is hopeful. I think that's the key. We were always hopeful that everything would turn out for the best. We had a lot of things in our favor, and ultimately it worked out, which we're super thankful for. Many of us wanted to kind of donate the kidneys, our kidney to Krish to help in any way possible. I say Sanketh was the lucky one. He was the one lucky enough to match for him and was able to do it. And if he wasn't, I would have been right behind him because that's something I have no issues, no holding back, and I'd gladly give a kidney to any one of my family members.
Thank you, Kitty Peradara. I'm feeling great.
With confidence and hope.
Incompleted.
Yay!
Happy.
Grateful.
It is a new beginning.
Health is wealth.
I'm relieved and ready for the future.
Full of new life.
Are we done yet?